Let me give you an illustration of this sort of thinking by giving you a quote by the smartest guy on the planet. At least he's often considered the smartest guy on the planet, Stephen Hawking. One can't prove that God doesn't exist, but science makes God unnecessary. The laws of physics can explain the universe without the need for a creator. Now, do you see his naturalism embedded in there? And I'm going to give you a really important philosophical concept. This is going to stay with you for the rest of your life. It's going to change your world, I promise. Ready? To a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Did you get that? To a hammer, everything looks like a nail. To a naturalist, everything looks what? Natural. To a naturalistic physicist, everything looks like what? The laws of physics. What's really interesting is I was reading this interview as he's talking about this book, and he throws out this philosophical statement that everything can be explained by the laws of physics. And the very next paragraph, here's what he says. But I don't take that belief home with me because it makes for awkward relationships. Isn't that interesting? So wait a minute. If everything can be explained by the laws of physics, then what has to also be able to be explained by the laws of physics? Relationships. But relationships don't do that very well. I mean, if I, grab my daughter and put her up on my lap and I say, the laws of physics tell me I love you, it just kind of steals the moment here, doesn't it? Do you see what I mean? It doesn't quite do it. Okay, now if that's true about if that assumption's true about the universe, then what sort of universe do we live in? And I think one of the most coherent statements of the sort of world that naturalism gives us is by Bertrand Russell, one of the top atheistic philosophers of the 20th century, who was having a pretty rough day when he took this picture. But still, here's the quote. Here's the world we live in. Man is the product of causes which had no prevision of the end that they were achieving. That his origins, his growth, his hopes, his fears, his loves and beliefs are but the outcome of the accidental collocation of atoms. Boy, I mean, you see, that's kind of like the laws of physics, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine proposing to a girl that way? Honey, the accidental collocation of atoms has brought us together. I mean, it just quite fit, right? That no fire, no heroism, no intensity of thought and feeling can preserve an individual life beyond the grave. That all the labor of the ages, all the devotion, all the inspiration, all the noonday brightness of human genius are destined to extinction in the vast death of the solar system. And the whole temple of man's achievement must inevitably be buried beneath the debris of a universe in ruins. All these things, if not quite beyond dispute, are yet so nearly certain that no philosophy which rejects them can hope to stand. Only within the scaffolding of these truths, only on the firm foundation of unyielding despair, can the soul's habitation be safely built. It just makes you happy to be alive, doesn't it? Now, here's the question, though. Here's what we got to figure out. Let's say that you woke up tomorrow and you believed that the world you lived in was this world. You were convinced that the world you lived in was this world. What would you do?